Alrighty, we are back. Get my postings. There we go. All right, everyone. Hello, hello. Happy full moon. It's still technically the full moon energy, so we're gonna rock with it, okay? This is Mystic Storm here to clear the path to a new life with you. I hope that this reading finds you inspiration, encouragement, and the drive and motivation to continue going down this path, okay? I know there has been tons of shifts, a lot of shifts. I always go back to Aries season because this is the wheel of the year type thing. But if we just talk about, we're coming out of the Lion's Gate, and with Leo season being here, as far as gaining that confidence within self, it's, especially since this is kind of like the last hurrah before we go into the darker half of the year, okay, if you live in the northern hemisphere, okay? So when we get into the darkness, that's when a lot of self-reflection is going on. And looking at the chart here, even though the sun is in Leo, right, it's in the 6th house, which is Virgo energy, which what we're propelling towards after Leo season. And I can definitely relate to this because I just felt like, man, I've been straight hermit mode because the hermit card and tarot is ruled by Virgo. So I feel like, we probably expected Leo season and this Lion's Gate, kind of be like a rah type thing. And it might have been for some people, but I feel like it was the boost of confidence we needed to see our worth and to see that that what we're putting ourselves up against, we may be over criticizing ourselves, maybe a lot of self-doubt, self-hate, self-blame. We talk about self-love, but we still got a lot of other emotions to deal with, right? And why I'm saying this is because, we are in the full moon energy. We have the sun in Leo in the 6th house is opposition the moon in Aquarius in the 12th house. That 12th house is Pisces energy. So it's nothing but healing, afterlife, rebirth, getting into the deepness, the darkness, spirituality. So I feel like there might have been a lot of heavy emotions around the full moon, or this is probably something you will experience within the next month, okay? But with this in conjunction, the moon is conjunct with Saturn retrograde, okay? So it's kind of like, we want to slow things down. We know we have to pick up the momentum, but we probably don't really have it all the way there yet. And I think Saturn understands that, with it being in retrograde and conjunct with this moon. I feel like we've probably been hit with a lot of lessons, a lot of trial and error, a lot of obstacles, and it's okay. It's going to be some unexpected changes, a lot of shifts. We've already experienced some shifts, but we're going to continue to feel shifts because the sun and the moon are squared off with Uranus and Taurus in the 2nd house. Okay? And with this square here pointing towards that's where we talk about the self-worth and finances and your sense of beauty. And it's just it might be some shifts and unexpected things within your finances or your sense of security. And when I first looked at this chart and was coming up with this, I was like, what we need to focus on is our root chakra. Okay, our root chakra, if you do not know, is the base of the spine. This is where our fears lie. This is where our security lies. This is where, getting a leveled head. A leveled head is because you're grounded and you're secure. Financial security is definitely on the table here. And you may want to up your saving at this time because you might have to save for a rainy day. You never know. So it's just like reevaluating these things, going into reflection mode with that Virgo energy, and making sure that you are seeing everything clearly. Okay? Because Pisces is here, right? We have the 12th house energy within the moon. And then we have Pisces here in the first house. That's about self. So think about how you view yourself. It's healing within the self that we have to do in order to, stop putting blinders on. Stop wearing a false mask. Stop treating yourself like you aren't powerful and you aren't strong, or you might have been a victim to something and you still are working through that trauma. It's releasing the blame, releasing the guilt, releasing the shame, and knowing that your feelings are valid. Okay? Your feelings are valid. And yes, it's hard to feel. It's definitely hard to feel, but feeling, that's a part of the self-reflection. That's a part of the releasing. And that's what this moon is telling us to do, is to shed, especially when it comes to prepping us for the future. Aquarius is definitely futuristic, right? It's the hopes and dreams. So if we are still bounded by fear, right? Because we might feel a shift and change within our security. How can we see a bright and prosperous future? So that's why it's like, before we can even think ahead, we need to make sure we're grounded in this present moment. So that way we can focus more on what we do now to prep us for the future. Because if we're still lost in the sauce, we still, things are a lot cloudy due to the healing that has been taking place during this time. It's okay. Don't be too hard on yourself. Take things slow, but also know that the sun in Leo in this Aquarius full moon is here to help us through this healing and help us to get through any obstacles that we face. This is definitely giving me Tower energy, the shifts, unexpected shifts and changes, definitely Oya's energy. So if you want to work with Oya, I would suggest looking her up and researching and all that stuff before you go ahead and do that. But that's pretty much the majority of this. And if we focus and reflect on ourselves and figure out what it is that we really want for the future, we can then align with that and get the drive and the will to go for it. I do see Neptune retrograde is sextile with Mars in the 3rd house in Taurus. Okay, so what this is saying, like, if you might have trouble getting motivated or actually following through with things, you probably need to speak it out loud. You need to affirm it. You might need to talk to other people, get some, an accountability partner, or even just talking to someone to help you get things going. So just know that you're not alone in this, even though sometimes this journey can definitely feel lonely. Know that you're not alone in this, and you can find community. It doesn't have to be an in-person community. It can be a virtual community, and just that can help you find the sense of self and the sense of security you need in order to continue the path. Okay, I feel like a lot of us have been kind of blocked a little bit, and that's why we talked about having a road opener. But at the same time, we also know that when we do these things, that it's not just lighting a candle. It's not just writing a petition. It's not just going because rituals, you can get into the routine of things. When I say get grounded, also get back to the basics. Get back to the basics, because if you start, getting back to the basics, that can give you more momentum to really set things off. Okay, this energy is not here to, I'm hearing, deplete us. It is here to strengthen us. And it's the mind. It's a mental thing. And I know there's tools out there that we can use. It's remembering them in the moment. Remembering them in the moment. Because I can know, I can say, let's do a breathing exercise, or let me clear off my energy by, moving this, or visualizing this. But if in a split second, in the moment, the choice, it's the choice. Am I going to choose the techniques and things that I have developed, or am I going to escape? Okay? There's nothing wrong with just escaping, right? That's Pisces energy. I'm a Pisces moon, so I know. But it's a balance. It's a balance. Because when you escape, you do have to touch on reality and being in the now. And once you're in the now, then you'll be able to navigate. Okay? I think there's so many different scenarios and so many different probabilities how things can pan out. And we can have a vision in our head of how we want our life to be, our future, but we also have to tap into that in order for us to get into the now and make the following steps to get to that vision that we see in our mind's eye. Because if we don't align to it, it's not coming in this physical realm. So, and it's like, don't put pressure on yourself, but at the same time, don't, it's like, don't put pressure on yourself, but still be about it, if you know what I'm saying. Still be about it. So, if you feel like you don't really know what to do, or you're deciding on going this way or that way, if you're at a crossroads, it is okay. It is okay. This is the energy, and the energy is here to serve us. And though it may not seem like it's, the best of times, know that it's divine orchestration. Okay? Hey Eli, how you doing? So I'm going to pull a couple of cards today, and I don't know if I have plenty of cards here that I've picked, but I don't know if I'm really going to get into tarot today. I'm just going to keep it light. So this is the Whispers of the Ocean. Spirit, what messages look ahead do you have for the collective? What do we need to know in this moment? Okay. The one will just be fine. This one. Connect to source. Connect to source. It says, go within to discover what needs to be done. Create the shift required to attract what you want. This is everything we've been talking about. Everything, the source, the root too, but source can be source creator, but that's still about getting grounded. And we talked about the future Aquarius energy, right? To tap in, it says go within to discover what needs to be done. Visualizing the future, right? Your hopes, your dreams, your desires. Create the shift required, taking that action to align to that reality, to attract what you want. Okay, so this is connecting with your source, right? Connecting within, because that will, if you connect with yourself, you connect into the all, right? that we are all a part of the all, the source, right? So we are all of God, if you wanted to say it that way. But connect to source. That's all we have to do. And again, we have to be present in the moment. Mindfulness meditation most definitely will be something that will be a good tool to use. It's funny because I've been watching anime and I'm laughing because I don't really watch anime, but now I'm watching it because the guy I'm talking to, he watches anime, and I'm just like, well, all right, we just gonna do this. And I actually like it. We watched Demon Slayer and Tanjiro. I can't believe I'm over here saying the characters like this, but he was going through battle, and in his training he had to do total breathing concentration, and that's focusing on your breath throughout the whole day. That's the mindfulness meditation, and him doing that, he's able to maneuver and, you know, slay the demons, and also get what he wants to do. Hold on. And I was like, you're not gonna cover. Just chill for a second. I won't be back in a few. Alright. Yeah. See, over here talking about him right here. But anyway, total breathing concentration. And that's pretty much mindfulness meditation. And in doing that, if we get back to our center and get back to focusing on our root chakra, we'll have a better sense of self, a better sense of our environment, and a better sense of how to maneuver in this reality, okay? So, we're going to keep going. It's to heal yourself. It's funny because I split the deck and this was it, and it pops out patience. Patience. We have to be patient in the now, and even though we see the vision in our mind's eye, we have to still know that it's a journey and not a race. Look, I'm preaching to myself, okay? And then look at the base of the deck has temptation. So this can be definitely the Pisces energy. Also, Neptune is there. It's the fantasies. It's the escapism. It's the illusions. Everything feels good, right? So I want to stay in this. But at the same time, is it really serving you? This is why you need to go within, connect with source, know what brings you security in self, and go from there. Okay? I'm like, I'm hot. I'm getting heated up now. Alright. We're going to do the Black Moon astrology. No. We're going to do the Work Your Light. That's what I heard first. And then the Queen of the Moon. Right. Yeah, I love it. This is Break the Chain. Ancestral patterns, healing, rewriting the future. Yes, break every chain. This is giving me also like the Devil card in reverse. Like breaking the chains of like the fear and the bondage that we put on ourselves, the limiting beliefs. That's Pisces energy too, 12th house. Yeah, just releasing a lot of the limiting beliefs that we have about ourselves, and be patient in that. It's tempting to keep fantasizing about what could have been, what should have been, and it's not even here. or it's easy to get caught up in what you want in your life now that you're missing out on opportunities for it to be better. Okay, so yeah. All right, break every chain. And this is a great message, I know, for me, because I was just like, how can I get back into the swing of things? It's definitely get grounded and connect to source and take it a step at a time. All right, this is the Queen of the Moon Oracle. Pleasure. Pleasure. This is giving me, this is like 5th house. This is Leo energy, pleasure. And it's also giving me like the Black Moon Lilith energy as well. So pleasure, doing what fuels you, what ignites your flame will help in this. It's a lot of transformational energy that's going on, and you might have to pretty much follow what makes you happy. Follow what brings you pleasure and go with that. Because if you are following the happiness, then more than likely you'll continue to get that, right? All right. And I think I'm going to do the Black Moon Astrology and call it, and then the Wild Offering. And then I'll call it, because, yeah, it feels like an oracle kind of day. So we're going to see... 9th house, faith. I love it. And this is also saying, like, you know, get in your divination if you practice again, or you use cards, work with that, work with astrology, do what you have to do in order to help you. And 9th house is Sagittarius energy. And look, Sagittarius is at the base of the deck. I see. It's the vision. And it's also saying with that vision, to keep the flame alive, keep that optimism, keep the faith alive. And that way the journey will be more enjoyable. You know, be patient and all will be well. I know the tension with this moon is going to make a lot of mental shifts with a lot of us, a lot of emotional and mental shifts. But if you get back within yourself, you might be exerting your energy to other people. You might need to call your power back in order for you to see clearly. Okay? So, yeah. Make sure you take time for solitude and reflection. If you journal. I used to journal, but now I just do voice notes. And just because of my Gemini rising, so I just like to talk. So I'll just say it and go back to it later. But yeah, do what works for you. Do whatever you need to do to connect with your spirit and to connect with source, and come up with a plan of action. And just know that even though we have plans, that Spirit has the final say, right? Divine orchestration. We can set all the intentions we want, but if it's not good for us, if it's not for our highest good, then it will not come. And we just have to accept that. And we have to trust that everything will be okay. All right. So we're going to get into the final card. Creative blocks. Love it. It says, if you are an artist of any kind, you can offer all work to the divine, making it God's alone. I offer this for the highest good to benefit the planet. Release me from any blocks and restrictions. May this serve all who need. And this is beautiful because we long to have purpose and we get so caught up in the purpose, we do think about self a lot. Even though, we talking about source, all, God, however you want to say it. But this is stepping back from what you see and know what you're doing is for the work of God. And when you do that, everything should, start to flow a little bit more, or you might feel less pressure because everything is going to work out for your highest good. So I love that. I like to end that with this one. That's why I love the Wild Offering deck. So I hope y'all have a wonderful, wonderful full moon, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.